Rather than love, rather than money, rather than love, give me truth. Truth, spelled like that. Truth. Using the available theories, available conceptions at this time, at one's time, in one's work, testing them in a very objective way. Do you understand what is objective? Objective does not go into these rumors. Objective does not apply to whatever everyone says. It applies to a tested hypothesis. The objectivity requires us to be a trained scientific mind. And the number one thing, the first thing is objectivity. You should be able to analyze clearly, to, to keep aside the things which are not objective and hammer into the objective, develop a hypothesis. All people in Nepal, all people in Nepal are rumor mongers. Sorry, a hypothesis. All people in Nepal are rumor mongers. It's a hypothesis. Why I am talking about it? Why I take topics like that? It's very general topics. I suppose everyone will follow. Now, now, we have to go ahead and prove it or disprove it. So this is a hypothesis. Therefore, science requires us to go into details of this rumor monger. You know what is a rumor monger? Anything you listen, you hear, you see, you forward it without thinking anything. You don't analyze it. And I have seen many of the learned colleagues of mine, they do the same thing. Sorry, it happens. Because this age of this highly, highly mammoth, huge media flushing. They should go down the toilet and flush it, all this media kind of thing. So therefore, let's come back to science. So what is science? Science has to be organized, it has to be objective. And once you test this hypothesis, I gave a hype, there could be several. There could be several. Why the result of our, or what is the reason behind the very low, very what do you call, very disappointing result of our plus 2 exam this year? Hypothesis. Why? This requires a lot of work, of course. One cannot just do a hypothesis like our politicians do, sitting in their chair, agua pichua, they have got a car here, there, they go around in big, big cars, wasting the people's money. It is not like that. This is different. It requires a very tabulated, very comprehensive, very, very symmetric analysis of the facts. Then only one can come to a conclusion. This is science. All right. So scientific thinking requires a scientific mind. And the first part is the objectivity. Second part is what? Evidence. After you do something, you receive evidence, you collect evidence, you gather evidence, then you have to test the evidence. The hypothesis or the evidence is tested. And if tested in England, if tested in Nepal, if tested in China, if tested in North Korea, the output or the result has to be same or similar. Otherwise, it is not science or scientific inquiry. So science has got several components. So I just outlined, it is a huge area, very largest area. Try to develop a scientific way of thinking. Try to develop, if you can, only analyzing. Of course, there is the enjoyment component is there in all these kind of things. But this is our life now. The software, media, Twitter, somebody call it tur, like tur of a dove, tur of a pigeon, pareva, pareva, न्याउली, tur. त्यसपछि गएर यो फेसबुक भन्ने त यो म त यसलाई भन्छु युग पात्रो हो यो युगको पात्रो हो यो युगको सबै कुराहरू युगका सबै खेलाडीहरू वर्णानुगत अथवा अवर्णानुगत खेलाडीहरूको एउटा खेल खेल्ने एउटा ऊ हो यो दुनियाँमा छौँ अहिले अब आज के भने मैले सबै कुरा किन जोडेको भने अब भन्छु सुन्नुस् सुन्नु भएको छ मन परेन होला सायद अब सुन्नुस् तै पनि यो पाठ सुन्नुस् आज हाम्रो राष्ट्रिय साइन्स डे द नेशनल साइन्स डे अफ नेपाल अब नेपालको साइन्सको क्रममा हेर्ने हो भने म अब साइन्सेजहरू अमृतमान प्रधान अस्कल स्थापना जसले गर्नुभयो नेपालको फरमोस्ट साइन्टिस्ट उहाँ नै हो एक प्रकारले भन्ने हो भने त्योभन्दा अगाडि त कुनै देखिँदैन हुनसक्छ कुनै बेला आर्यभट्ट र कुनै के जाति भन्ने कुरा त्यो आफ्नो ठाउँमा होला तर अहिलेको यो मोडर्न एजमा आई थिङ्क अमृतमान प्रधान इज आवर साइन्टिस्ट अलराइट मैले पनि साइन्सको अभ्यास गरेँ यहाँहरू पत्याउनुहुन्छ पत्याउनु न म फोटो राखिदिन्छु मैले पनि युनाइटेड नेसन्स स्कुल्स गोल्ड मेडल मैले जितेको यो कस्तो थियो भनेदेखि यो पनि केही हातसम्म यो साइन्टिफिक प्रिन्सिपल्समै आधारित करिकुलम हुन्थ्यो अब्जेक्टिभिटी ट्रुथ एन्ड अफकोर्स मेमोराइजेसन मैले जितेको फोटो राखिदिन्छु म पनि साइन्टिस्टै हो एक प्रकारले त्यहाँदेखि मेरो आफ्नो दिमागमा साइन्स भने के हो भन्ने कुरा केही अलिअलि झल्कन थाल्यो हेर्नुहोस् अब एउटा कुरा यो आज नेपालको साइन्स डे रे के गर्यौँ त हामीले साइन्समा अब मैले अमृतमानको इक्जाम्पल दिएँ अब एकजना ऊ गरिरहनु भएको छ राष्ट्रिय आविष्कार केन्द्र गरिरहनु भएको छ उहाँ पनि साइन्टिस्टै हो कुलमान सिंह घिसिङ पनि साइन्टिस्टै हो हाम्रो आँखाको सर्जन हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ पनि साइन्टिस्टै हो त्यसपछि हाम्रो भगवान कोइरालाजी उहाँ पनि साइन्टिस्टै हो सबै साइन्टिस्टको मेरो नमस्कार प्रणाम अभिवादन अब अर्को कुरा विश्वकर्मा पूजा आज विश्वकर्मा भनेको विश्वकर्मा वाज ए आर्किटेक्ट वाज ए साइन्टिफिक principle based, maybe you might call it engineer. He created countries, he created cities. Without Vishwakarma, the mythology is nothing. द्वापर युगको अन्तमा कृष्ण भगवानलाई सहाराको लागि बस्ने ठाउँ बेटद्वारका उहाँले अरू पनि बनाउनु भएको छ विश्वकर्मा द साइन्टिस्ट अफ आवर mythological area, he has created many other things, and among that let me take one example. It is in Gujarat, off the coast of Okha. There is a city under the sea. He created that in Dwapar Yuga especially. And somebody say that this is a gift from Sudama. Somebody also say he had to go into that because there was a demon who was after Lord Krishna. So therefore, this Vishwakarma ji created a specially encasted, especially created city under the sea so that Krishna could go and hide there. That is also the story. So let's remember Nepal's scientific day. Develop your scientific mind, objectivity, thinking pattern, analyze you how the God has given you the power. Analyze. Do not just jump into conclusions. Somebody Prachanda said something, Baburam said something. Don't do that. If you are a learned man, I have developed, as I said, after I received that gold medal from that time. I am not saying I am great. Just giving you an example. You all have got your gold medal in your heart. Just bring it out. Just bring it out. Have a good day.